Hi, Hannah. I'm Tiffany. I think I talked to you last time. Loved your response. I have lots of good things to talk about. The slave narratives, you said the struggles in the North, not just the South, because the African Americans in the North weren't as free as the white people in the North, which something is totally, I just totally overlooked it. How did I completely miss the African Americans' perspective from the North? Because they weren't actually people, they were still three quarters of a person. Um, Now I have a whole bunch more research to do, but thank you so much for that because now I have something else I can look into. You also talked about the importance of African American history. Right now, I am in a world history class and a seventh grade social studies class and an eighth grade social studies class, and they always have like one little section on African Americans and slaves, and then all the rest of it's about the white people. And so, don't get me wrong, I know that white people had a lot to do with everything, but we have one little section, or we have Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We don't have a whole book dedicated to American history from the African Americans' perspective, or what the African Americans did to make the United States what it is. Great, just awesome discussion today. You also talked about how a slave narrative compared to like a fluff piece, a poem or a short story, those are just they tell the nice parts and they make, the dirty parts just not as bad. And then slave narratives, they talk about this is what was good, this is what was bad, and really it was all bad, and that's just it. Or really it wasn't that bad, and I'm okay with it, I've just really enjoyed it. And then you also talked about answering the tough questions as a educator. And we're in a really small area up here in Nebraska. So how do you tell a kid that it's okay that people are black whenever their parents don't think it's okay? And then those kids go home and tell their parents, well, it's okay for them to be black. But their parents say, no, it's not. We don't hang out with those people. That is difficult in this area. And it's happened, and I've heard it happening, and I didn't actually see it. I wasn't there for that, but it was quite the ordeal. And as an educator, you have to keep your personal opinion to yourself. You can't say, well, I think that X, Y, and Z are great and that A, B, and C are bad, and you should think the same thing. It is difficult because, you're pulling from your own personal perspective to teach these kids. And if you think that black people are fine and their parents are saying they're not, then parents are coming up tomorrow to talk to your principal or your boss or whatever it is. And so it's just another thing to really think about, not just about, oh, it's gruesome for them to learn about it in second grade, but also making sure that you don't jeopardize your job over something like this. Anyway, great discussion, Hannah. I look forward to talking to you again. Have a good day.